it ended up being a book that, in a way, changed my life as a writer, and this is why. It's also, I should note, the book that I dedicated to my mom, who came north from Peru, though she had a much easier path than a lot of immigrants because she married my father, who was a U.S. citizen, and became a citizen. So one day in my office at Northern Arizona University, I was in between classes prepping. I'm usually get a little stressed. I might have been grading, and the phone rang. And I picked up the phone, and a woman introduced herself and said, "I am not a stalker. I just want to let you know." And I thought, well, a stalker wouldn't really say I'm not a stalker, but I kept listening. And she said, "I just want to tell you I'm a teacher, and I want to tell you about the impact your book, Butterflies on Carmen Street, had on a little boy named Joel." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "I was his kindergarten teacher a few years ago, and he was really sick. He is sick. And our class did a butterfly project. And Joel's butterfly, the wings took a while to dry off, and he cheered his butterfly on and cheered his butterfly on, and finally the butterfly took off. And it was so moving because Joel had difficulty walking himself. And I saw your book at a conference, and I thought, I need to buy this for Joel." So she bought Butterflies on Carmen Street, and she brought it to Joel, and she said, "Let's read it together. Do you want to read it in English or Spanish?" And Joel said, "I'll read it in English," because he was really proud of his English. And she read it in Spanish, and after the book was done, Joel asked her a question, and he said to his teacher, "What do you think happens when you die?" And she said, like any really good teacher, "What do you think happens when you die, Joel?" And he said, "I think you turn into a butterfly and fly away." And then he said, "I think I'm going to turn into a butterfly soon." And she asked him, "Where do you think you're going to go, Joel? Where are you going to fly to?" And he says, "Well, first I'm going to fly over to the school and say hello to everyone because it's been a while, and then I'm going to fly back to Mexico because I miss Mexico, and then I'm going to fly up to heaven and talk to God." And she told me this story in the middle of an average day, and I was astounded, and I really felt like I had this gift of grace from this little boy. And she said that she was calling me because she wanted me to know that they were gonna, they really loved Joel, and they were gonna do a butterfly garden in his honor, and they wanted to donate some of my books to the children's hospital ward he spent a lot of time at. And I, of course, said, "Well, let me talk to Joel. Let me send him more of my books. I want to meet him." And she said, "He is really sick. He can't even talk on the phone right now." And I said, "Okay." And we hung up the phone, and his story stayed with me for the next 2 days. And so I had her, she had given me her name and nothing else. And I had given her my publisher saying, we're going to donate books to your school. And so I looked her up, and it turned out she had been a Teacher of the Year, of course. And I found her email address, and I emailed her and said, "I'm still thinking of Joel. Let's talk. What can I do for him?" And she emailed me back and said that he had died the previous morning. And she sent me his obituary and his beautiful picture of his smiling face, which I still have and really cherish. And in the obituary, it talked about how much he loved to draw. And he loved to draw more than anything else, butterflies. So that was amazing. And so that will be a special book to me forever because it helped this little boy think about death in a really wise and more peaceful way.